So you want to start a farm. Here are some quick tips and tricks for the first week on the new farm. You're going to go to Pierre's and spend all of your money. Literally all of your money. You're going to buy 1 green bean, 1 cauliflower, and 1 potato, and then spend the rest on parsnips. This is the produce that you're going to need for the community center bundles. When hoeing around, you want to hoe in sprinkler formation like this, so that you are able to craft the next 2 size sprinklers and can easily set them up without re-hoeing your dirt. Rice can be planted within the 3 outer squares next to water without needing watered every day. Always check the bulletin board and accept the quest. Even if you don't think you can complete it, you still want to accept it. The only villager I worry about getting points with this early in the game is Carolyn. Giving her 2 daffodils a week and trying to talk to her each day until her heart level is at 2 will give you access to tea saplings, which are easy early game gold. Fishing is an easy way to get gold early on. If you fish by Willie's, you can easily sell the items the same day and then go and buy more seeds. You can also sell foraging items from the beach to Willie as well. Fishing in the mountains is the best place to get more gold per fish. If you get a rainy day, try and catch yourself a shad from the river. They are easy to catch with the rod you have, and you will definitely need that for the community center bundles. If you have energy at the end of the day, use that to chop down trees and clear more area on your farm. On day 5, the community center will open. Be sure you go look at one of the golden tablets. This will also be the day that the bridge will open so you can go into the mines. Try to get at least 1 copper ore. This will trigger Clint showing up at your doorstep to give you a furnace blueprint on the next day. On day 6, you will get a message from the wizard to come see him. It is important that you go and drink the weird tasting tea with him that takes you on a trip in his favorite rocket ship. On day 7 is for messing with Lewis on his birthday. It's week 2 and you have a surplus of parsnips. Imagine that. You're going to want to keep 5 gold star ones in a chest and 1 regular one for the community center bundles. I usually keep a few for eating in the mines and sell the rest to Pierre. Then, buy more seeds. While you're there, be sure to talk to Carolyn and her unhinged daughter, and be sure to give Carolyn a daffodil. You will need to give her a gift twice this week and talk to her as well if you can each day. Since your fishing levels have most likely went up since last week, you'll have more proficiency in your rod. This will help while trying to catch the catfish and the eel. Both can only be caught while it's raining. Don't give up on that catfish, he's a hard one to catch, just keep trying. Also, fun fact, you can change your bobber at Willie's. The more different kinds of fish you catch, the more bobbers you will unlock. You should be getting down in the mines at this point. Who else blocks out these levels? Iron ore will start showing up at level 41. This is also where dust sprites will start showing up that drop coal when you shiv them. Zooming out all the way while in the mines will help you see further. Always follow the minecart tracks to a cart full of coal. You can chop down the big stones in the mines without an upgraded pickaxe. At the end of the dreaded spiral mine will always be a bunch of barrels that will have loot in them. You should be getting enough iron and copper bars to make the basic sprinklers to help with watering. Donate minerals, gems, and artifacts to the museum. However, selling gems worth a lot of gold for now is always an option. I promise that Gunther won't know the difference. Day 13 is the day of the Egg Festival. This is where you want to purchase strawberry seeds from Pierre's stand. No, you do not need a bunny or a flamingo. Those will be there next year. If you haven't introduced yourself to everyone in town yet, now is the perfect opportunity. Now is the time to try and beat that little rock eater Abigail. I always head south then east to get as many eggs as possible. That night you should go and plant the strawberries. Be sure they are watered. I always put some fertilizer on them in hopes of getting some quality berries. Once you have beaten Abigail, you can rub her nose in it by wearing a very stylish prized hat and slingshotting her dinner at her.
Tina, you fat lard, come get some dinner.
Don't forget to visit the travel merchant on Fridays and Sundays before 8 p.m. You want to try to get a red cabbage, a truffle, and any fruits that comes on a fruit tree that are needed for the bundles. Each of these items have a chance of showing up randomly for purchase. And don't forget to mess with Lewis. So, you have been giving a daffodil to Carolyn twice a week and talking her ear off. Once you have 2 hearts with Carolyn, you will be able to enter her tea room and again drink some really weird green tea, and then she will give you a recipe for tea saplings. A tea sapling can be crafted with seasonal seeds that are made from forageables. These tea saplings on their own can bring in 250 gold just by selling them outright. If you have done 2 prize tickets quests, you will be able to find mystery boxes dropped by Mr. Quee. If you have any fruit tree saplings, you will want to plant them where the outer 8 squares have nothing in them. I always put a fence around it so I don't accidentally chop it down. On days 15 through 18, you will be able to find salmon berries in the bushes. On day 16 will be your last chance to plant cauliflower so it can be harvested by the end of the season. Be sure it's watered on this day. On day 16 is also the day that the Joja cutscene will take place if you go into Pierre's. Morris will show up and try to convince you to get a membership. The choice is yours. On day 17, there is a special event that only takes place once a year. Head down to the forest next to Hatmouse's hut. There, you will find something at the end of the rainbow, along with a stylish hat. If you haven't already, opening the bridge on the beach is a good way to get some different beach forageables. Be sure to save an urchin for the bundles. Coral will also be a great resource down the road, so be sure to save those. The bookseller will show up on 2 randomly generated days during the season. It may be too early in game to purchase any of the books because they cost a pretty penny. However, they can be found while doing daily tasks like chopping down trees or slaying monsters. Since we are in week 3, it's a good idea to go and get more seeds from Pierre. Kale is a good high-profit veggie that only takes 6 days to grow. Your strawberries should be getting ready for harvest this week. Save 1 or 2 in a chest for later and put the rest in a preserve jar for more profit. It's the last week of spring, which means we are in midsummer season. Or, in our case, the flower dance. Pierre will be there making money on rare crows and overpriced forageables. Asking Haley to dance is my favorite part of this event.
Michael!
Taking this last week to be sure you have all of the spring fish for the community bundles is a good idea. When you reach level 6, be sure to make a targeted bait maker. Speaking of targeted bait, you can buy a rotating stock of targeted bait at Willie's. Let's get into the tea saplings that I cannot stop talking about. After you have acquired the 2 hearts with Carolyn and walked into her tea room for the cutscene, she will send you a letter that holds the recipe for tea saplings. Once crafted, these sell for 250 gold each. If you have been saving your forageables and gathering fiber, you should have no problem getting some extra gold with these. After you have made 25,000 total in-game gold, you will be greeted by Demetrius before you've had your morning coffee. He will give you the option to turn the cave on your farm into a mushroom breeding ground or a place where bats drop fruit. I always choose the mushrooms because they are needed more for the community center bundles, and as a bonus, it comes with a free dehydrator. I know the quests show that you need to build a coop. However, I have always chose building a barn first. Cheese from cows sell for more profit early on. Plus, if you choose the Meadowland farm, that already comes with a coop and 2 chickens. Be sure to go to Pierre's and get a couple of each seed that you can save for later. If you enjoyed this tips and tricks video for Stardew Valley, be sure to like and subscribe.